Welcome to Section 8 Consulting. Today I'm pleased to announce our grand opening of section8consulting.com and our website. As most of you know me from Section 8 Consulting as a YouTube channel, we've migrated from an old website to a new one. And today I would like to discuss a little bit of our consulting services that we offer and kind of give you a small tour of our website and what you can expect as either a landlord or a person that is trying to deal with Section 8. So our services are geared towards assisting landlords and also people that are dealing with Section 8 issues or need to be able to get a housing choice voucher. We do help with both those situations. So let's move on to the website here. I'm going to refresh it so you can kind of see some of the animations that we have. And here we are. So as you can see here, we've got a great deal of things going on. We've got about 18 years experience, 13,000 clients served, 837 landlords, 6,842 vouchers, and around a 93% success rate. My philosophy is I don't mind admitting, that there is some failure. There are some cases and some situations that will never come to fruition, and I think you should always be transparent with the people that you're doing business with or trying to help. So as you go down here, you can see our bio, and what I would like to dig into just like for a minute is going to be some of our services. So as you can see on the tenant side, we help people with emergency housing assistance, emergency rental assistance programs, Section 8 housing, Section 8 applications, Section 8 eligibility, Section 8 vouchers, Section 8 waiting list, Section 8 portability, landlord and housing discrimination, case management and research, low-income housing, affordable housing, subsidized housing, HUD BASH, better known as VA supportive housing, BAWA, which is DB clients, HOPWA, which is opportunities for persons with HIV or AIDS, RRH, which is rapid rehousing, PSH, which is permanent supportive housing, homeless housing, housing for ex-felons, Section 202 for seniors, and Section 811. That's a mouthful, right? And to be frank with you, I could go on with another 130 of these, but I think we get the gist at this point. So we're going to cover the landlord side, and I wanted to be very, very precise with this because I understand there's a lot of people that lend advice about these things, but they often don't understand the true scope of what it requires as being a landlord, especially when you're trying to be a professional and communicate those ideas with other people. So I offer professional advice, obviously. We deal with landlord packets, housing authority incentives. That's where we sometimes work with housing authorities to get you, 5 to 10K worth of incentives per lease you sign up. Owner certification, taxpayer identification number and certification. So that's just your business credentials. Housing assistance, which is going to be housing assistance payments and the HAP contract. Management agreements, tenancy addendums, housing quality standards inspections, which is your HQS, rent reasonableness, so you can make a determination of whether or not the housing authority locally would be able to meet your criteria as far as the rents that you're wanting, as well as what your tenants can afford to give you through the voucher as well. Then we have tenant eligibility and rent procedures, family obligations agreements, and then we have HCB, which is a housing choice voucher. You really have to learn from both perspectives, not just be a landlord, but you need to understand how those vouchers do work. Then we have our RFTA packets, which are requests for tenancy approval, payment standards, housing discrimination, so you have to watch yourself in that arena. HQS, which is inspection deficiency request. Sometimes we don't always pass the inspections, so you need to be fully prepared for that. Recertification dates, which has more to do with the client, but sometimes on the inspection side is required. We have move in and move out inspection forms. You'll always want to have that as well. Notice of intent to vacate or move. And so that's something else. Again, it's more on the tenant side, but you need to understand the process of what's supposed to be happening in that arena. And, as you go through the site, you'll see there's a lot of information regarding Section 8 and the many different things we cover. And, we have an additional 80 pages we're adding to the website. It's a slow rollout, so every time you visit, it'll be a new adventure. There will be a blog. We have a lady from the Los Angeles Times, and she is writing a lot of our articles for us. They're not designed to be fluff. They'll actually deliver realistic advice and step-by-step, which is a huge contrast to what you might find on Google or YouTube. There's so many people talking about different topics that they simply have a very basic understanding of. So as you roll down, and I want you to also take a look at one additional thing before I close out our video. If you go over to book appointment, you'll see that we've tried to make this as simple and as straightforward as possible. All appointments are set pretty much in your time zone. So I receive an email, you receive an email, we both get the time zone in which is supposed to happen. And then sometimes appointments run 20 minutes late or 20 minutes early. That's because some people talk longer than others and cause these calls to go over. We try to do our best to be on time. Area code for the numbers 346. And anyways, we moved down, and I want to clarify that I do not offer HUD 203K services. So that is a person, an individual certified to go out on a new development and determine what the housing authority might need out there as far as the building requirements. So I don't handle any of that, and I'm not certified to do such, and I'm not interested in it anyways. So down here, we offer consulting, and it varies. The amount of time it varies, and so does the amount. But typically, you can expect rates between, I think, around $45. It's usually the rate, so 45 and 60, and the allotments of time can range vastly depending on what you're needing. And then you can just book the appointment by clicking the applicable dates that are blue. You see we have terms and services to avoid any misunderstandings. And then if you go a little bit lower, you'll see our other services. These are more geared towards our tenants and people that are becoming prospective tenants. Now, I'm going to go over these real quick with everybody so you understand what's happening. Now, for those of you, I do get a lot of clients that are in emergency. They need a meeting right now, and so I try to get them on the next call, even on a full schedule. And so for that, I charge slightly more at 60. We have 3 days of email support. I find that I get a tremendous number of emails. And to be frank with you, if I'm going to spend my personal time communicating back and forth through email, then it has to be for a good reason. So at this point, we're charging $25, which would allow you 3 days of email support. It's a good thing to have, especially when you're just finishing out a consult and you don't necessarily want to pay for another consult. And this would allow you to ask a number of questions and get adequate answers. And then I have some folks that insist on a very quick call, and so we try to adjust to that. And so you can do that now, a 5-minute call for $20. Then we have basically packages rolled together. This would include low-income properties, and what I mean by that, it is a searchable database. It's the most accurate out there. Second to that is going to be the entire housing authority list for the entire country. So you're basically searching a federal database, and you're getting everything. There's no guessing with it. Same thing with the Section 8 application assistance. So you're wondering, okay, well, why is this package $65? Well, it's very simple. On the day of application, if you're a tenant and I've always preached if you want to give the right answers and do a little bit better on that waiting list, then you'd want that application assistance where you can call me and then I assist you with the application. If you go down, you can see that you can purchase these things individually. So if you just want to be able to search a highly accurate list of anywhere in the United States, it's $10. If you're looking for housing authorities anywhere in the U.S. in every single county in the U.S., then again, that's a service being offered there. And then if you want just the specific application or assistance with voucher by phone, where we go over the questions and make sure you're getting the right things in there, you can see that I do offer that service there for $45. And then I call this Pandora's box. If you want to understand all federal regulations, laws, and legislation, this thing is a beast. You can literally fight toe-to-toe with a housing authority or landlord with this particular package, because what it does is you can search and you can find, the exact laws, word for word, and there's no way for a housing authority or landlord to counter what's written into law. It's spelled out. That's pretty much the end of the conversation. So Pandora's box, to give you access to that, would be $25. Or, a lot of this information you could find for yourself, but I'm trying to save y'all time. So you're not really buying information from me. What you're doing is you're paying for my time to round up these resources and get them to you, okay? So you're not actually paying for the actual information. You're paying for my time. So moving on from that, housing authority and landlord disputes. Going over that, look, guys, when you have disputes with housing authorities and landlords, it's extremely time consuming. A lot of you talk for at least an hour before I can sort out the many complexities of your case. And so I bill by the hour. Each time you want to go in and work on the case, it's $120 an hour, okay? It is a tremendous amount of work trying to figure it out, then trying to find the correct laws. But please be aware I'm not an attorney and I do not give illegal advice. What I can do is identify particular regulations and laws, turn that information over as I found it, and then you can do what you wish with it or take it to your attorney, okay? Moving on, voucher portability, moving and transferring. Look, that is it's another one that's tough to do, okay? If you're not willing to invest at least an hour of your time in that, then you're not going to be successful. The porting a voucher from county to county and state to state is a sophisticated process. You're communicating with two different housing authorities, and the whole process bouncing around between two housing authorities or two states can take up to 45 days. So make no mistake, it is not a 10-minute consult. We have to go back and forth several times. So at the minimum, you should at least budget 120. And to be frank with you, it would probably be advisable to budget for two of those. Around $240 is usually about what it's going to take for us to get the whole process done over the 45-day period. Moving on from that, we have COC packages. Most of you know that I'm an expert in that area as well. Now that's going to be for the continuum of care, coordinated entry. And what I've done is a lot of people, in the old days of me consulting, I would often go and try to hunt down all this information, which would cause me to have a consulting call, and then I would spend about an hour of my personal time doing all this work to research things for people for free. Unfortunately, I'm a pretty busy guy these days, so what I'm going to be doing now is just selling the package deal to you where you can get the information yourself. So if you don't want to go out and find this information and search for it yourself, then what you can do is you can buy my time, and then I will send you the information through the links and everything that you need, okay? So in this package, we're going to include COC test, the BETA-SPAT manual, and the COC test manuals. That's 59 pages, 58 pages in the exact test for most counties, states, and so on. If you don't want to spend the $25 to get all three, then you can purchase them individually. At the very least, you're going to want the COC test. It is highly advisable to have the manual as well. The reason I'm selling them separate is because they are quite separate things, okay? Moving beyond that, you have the BETA-SPAT. Now, that is something that is used quite frequently in the state of California and in a few other states. So you might want to contact me first before you decide on getting the COC test. You may want to get the SPDAT. SPDAT, again, is a powerful test, and it's around 59 pages. Moving on from that, a lot of you guys don't have a homeless verification letter. Look, there's very few letters that they're willing to accept. If you don't have the right kind, then I would suggest just purchasing that from me and then work out the deals with a community member that can sign for you. And then the last thing is a complete guide to landlord inspections, which is your HQS. This is specific for landlords. Now, as you can see, there's a whole host of services here. It's going to continue to increase because I have to be able to automate a lot of this. I'm one person with 6 different people helping me, but there's only one person that can talk to most of you. So this is the best way for me to approach that. So look, I've enjoyed our tour and talking about the many services. And again, as I said, many things about this website will change. It will continue to get bigger. It will get larger and will offer more services. And I look forward to speaking to all of you out there, whether you're a landlord, a tenant, or a social worker, or if you're a professional in some other field that needs assistance with this. I'm always happy to talk with you. You can send me a message, or if you'd like to consult, we can do so. All right, thank you for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.